welcome to my podcast. Today, I am very excited because I have with me somebody I admire a lot. Her name is Paulina Cervantes. She has a bachelor's in cognitive science from the UC Berkeley. Before teaching, she did behavioral therapy working with students with disability, particularly students with autism. And I met her at City Language Immersion Charter. She's been working as a dual language teacher in fifth grade for 2 years now. And that's where I got to observe her teaching. I saw her passion for teaching. I observed the projects that she worked on, and I thought it would be amazing to have the chance to interview Paulina. So, Paulina, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh my gosh, like not at all. Thank you for agreeing to be with me today. So I have a few questions. Let's start right away because I have a lot to ask you. My first question is, what was your? I mean, you're an amazing teacher. There's something inside of you. I'm pretty sure you that felt like a calling to teach. So my first question is, what was your calling to teach? Like, what is your background? What called you to be an educator?
Yeah, so I think it all goes back to like my early childhood years.
Mm-hmm.
My family really placed an emphasis on education.
Mm-hmm.
My parents didn't have the opportunity to go past like elementary school or like middle. I think my dad went to elementary school and my dad did like,
Mm-hmm.
my dad went to up to middle school and then my mom went up to elementary, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And I just know that they didn't have the opportunity to pursue higher education.
Yeah.
So when they came here to the States, they really placed an emphasis on education as like a key to success.
Mm-hmm.
And so automatically, I feel like I always had a positive relationship with education,
Yeah.
and I saw it as something positive. So when I was in elementary school, I had a really amazing fourth grade teacher.
Oh,
Her name was Miss Hunt.
okay.
And she was really, really inspiring. And me thinking education was like the key to success. And I saw this educator who was really caring for us and really thought out like her classes to make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she was a hero to me. So
Wow.
ever since then, I feel like I always said, what do I want to be when I grow up? A teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And it just always seemed like something that caused me a lot of joy, like even helping my classmates.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds cliche, but like as a little girl, I always wanted to be a teacher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it was just,
I've heard that before. Yeah.
yeah, it's just I had a positive experience with an educator, and also I knew the importance of education to my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it was always an integral part of my life.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
Yeah.
I totally see it. Do you feel like you wanted to give students the same experience that your fourth grade teacher gave you growing up and being a student, or not really?
I don't think like consciously I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking that way, but I definitely always think like, is this fun? Is this like I reflect on my experience and what I liked about classrooms,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to kind of mirror that when I am in the classroom. I want to make it fun. I want to have students motivated. I want them to feel safe and comfortable with me. A lot of them like come up to me during lunch and they want to talk to me. I think you've seen it, and
Oh,
I just
yeah.
want them to feel comfortable with me.
Yes,
Yeah.
I see that. Um, so Paulina is somebody who inherited my students. So I was the fourth grade teacher at City Language Immersion Charter, and she's a fifth grade teacher. And I felt so happy to see that my students were going to be with her, that I knew that they were going to be safe. And you're somebody who goes above and beyond, like everything, like any door contest, door decoration contest. She was going above and beyond. Like the best door you will find, it's Paulina's door. So that's how you know she goes above and beyond to give students the best experience. Um, so I know you studied UC Berkeley, but what specific program did you follow to become a teacher?
Okay, yeah. So after going to Berkeley, I did take a little kind of break in the sense that I didn't really pursue teaching right away. And I did ABA therapy with students with disabilities, specifically students on the spectrum. And I think that's where I really was like, okay, wait, I really, really like to work with kids. Because I knew I wanted to be a teacher, but for some reason, I guess I just didn't really know the path to become a teacher. And I didn't go after right away after college.
Yeah.
So once I was working with students, I started looking into different like pathways. I had one of my coworkers was telling me constantly like, "Hey, there's this program. It lets you like substitute teach for a little bit, and then it'll really help you find your way to teaching inside the classroom with your own classroom." Um, and so I did look into that program. It was called Alliance International University, and it was an online program. But
Okay.
I really like that they did help me like get that experience in the classroom first. I was
Yeah.
teaching as a substitute teacher for like 3 months before I started my online courses, and it was self-paced, which I like because I think I am very self-sufficient. Where if I'm not understanding something, I'll go ahead and like do my research. So I didn't feel like it was going to be a difficult path for me. So I did that program. It was all online, and it was really helpful. I think to prepare me for teaching in
Yeah.
the classroom.
Yeah, because I guess as you were substituting, you were able to apply what you were learning online, right?
Yeah, well, most of the classes didn't start until after I was done substitute teaching. But I was able to kind of reflect on like what I saw in the classrooms, and it still helped, like especially when I think about classroom management, because they can teach you and give you all these assignments on classroom management, but you have to be in the classroom and
Yeah.
to really know what they're talking about. And I think
Mhm.
at that point I had gotten a feel for all different kinds of students. Like I went to so many different schools in different neighborhoods, different grade levels, and that's also what prepared me or like helped me decide
Mm.
what kind of teaching I would be pursuing. So I was
Mm.
indecisive. I was either high school or elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you were substituting both high school and elementary.
I substituted all grade levels. Yeah, in middle school
Oh,
too. They kind of just
wow.
placed me wherever they needed people.
Yeah.
But then that's when I really decided like, oh, I want
Yeah.
to stick to elementary.
Yeah. Definitely. You have a great profile. I mean, think you would thrive anywhere, honestly. You could
I don't
thrive
know.
anywhere. So when you were substituting, did you work in private and public schools or just public system?
It was public schools, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of charter schools actually,
Okay.
more than anything.
Okay. That's a great experience. So talking about your teaching program and experience in the classroom, after you finish your teaching program and then you started working as a homeroom teacher. When you started as a homeroom teacher, was that when you started at Click, like in fifth grade?
Um, well, yes. I
Uh-huh.
guess with the subbing opportunities, I did get a long-term placement where I did become like the official like teacher for the classroom, but as a
Uh-huh.
substitute.
Okay.
So before Click, I did spend about 4 months at another school,
Okay.
where I did become the teacher for the class.
Okay.
It felt like I was doing all the teacher responsibilities,
Mhm.
but I knew that it was temporary, and I started
Mhm.
like in the half, like in the middle of the year.
Mm.
So, but I guess my actual first like classroom that belonged to me since the beginning was at Click.
Mm.
So
Okay.
2 years ago.
Okay. Perfect. So now I have the $1,000,000 question.
Uh-huh.
um, what is something that they don't really teach you in your teaching preparation program that you learned in the classroom, like in situ, like going through the experience and realizing, oh, this is something I have to develop and this is something I have to learn how to handle because you don't really get it in the teacher preparation program. So, is there something that you feel like it wasn't taught and I had to develop it so I could be able to teach and uh, handle classroom management.
Um, I think more than anything,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably just like learning to always be on alert. Like I feel like it's not,
Mm-hmm.
they don't prepare you for that. Like you really have to be like watching all times. Like your body is constantly feeling the stress of like you have to make sure that everything's going okay. And if
Mm-hmm.
something's not working, you have to like change it like this very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed I was always feeling so tired, especially like the first couple weeks of teaching. I
Yes.
would come home like exhausted mentally.
Yes.
I never thought I would be that mentally exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, it's because we're constantly like making all these decisions. There's students talking to you like at the same time sometimes, and
Yes.
yeah, I guess I wasn't really prepared for that, like the mental load it takes on you. Um, Even like when you're not planning or when you're not up there giving a like a mini lecture
Mm-hmm.
or mini lesson, um, but just in general, like having to
Mm-hmm.
always be on,
On.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like your brain is always on. You can't
Yes.
relax at all.
Yes. Yes. I wish this was more discussed, like the amount of energy that takes to scan the room and to think about, okay, is this working? Is this student feeling okay?
Hmm.
Are they understanding this? Are these resources useful? Uh, it's a lot.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is mentally a lot, I feel
Yeah.
like.
So what do you do? Like, how do you handle the heaviness of the mental load? Because spending every day like this for a full
Hmm.
year takes a toll on your body. So is there anything you do, or you just brave it and go through it every day? Like,
I feel like I'm still learning. I'm really
mm,
still learning how to manage it. I
mm-hmm,
do definitely need to really place an emphasis on that this upcoming year and the following years to really like learn how to balance um, my my day in order to feel like okay, yes, at work I had to do all of this, but then as soon as I get home, I can go ahead and just relax and
mm-hmm,
take some time for me, decompress. And I think so far I haven't done it consistently, but I do things like I I actually vent with a lot of my coworkers. I feel like
yeah,
every lunch that we had the opportunity to and we're having a difficult day, we would
mm-hmm,
talk it out during our lunchtime or just like
mm-hmm,
seek advice from more experienced educators, and like they always had a really good advice to offer. And then outside of home, I guess outside of school, I try and just stay active. I think for me, making sure that I go on my walks and my runs are helpful. Hmm.
yeah. I know you like running, and you did that very often, and I think that's very healthy. I tried. I never managed to do it, but you did it. And also talking to people at school during lunchtime, that was also like a lifesaver for me as well. Like sometimes you don't have time to do that during lunchtime because you had to prepare the next activity or you had to talk to students when they got in trouble. But those are very necessary. So, and also you have a very high mental load because your work ethic is really high, and I never saw you like slacking, like, oh, it's fine. They don't have to worry. I don't have to. No, you were always like, this activity has to work, or I'm so concerned about the students, or I see that this problem is coming up, or they just had an argument, so I had to focus on that. So I think that's something that happens to great teachers. You reflect a lot and you want to give them the best, and that takes a toll on on you. Um, Another question that I have for you is, um, if you could have something, and it could be anything, could be time, could be training, could be guidance, resources, space, but if you could have something um, that would make you a better teacher next year, what would it be?
You said it. First thing on the list was time. I think
Time.
it all goes down to time because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I was like, okay, I wish we received a training on this,
Mm-hmm.
and then we received the training, and I feel like, okay, when am I going to plan for this?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they do, give us planning time, I feel like there's a million other things on the list that I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like a lot of the times that's what we're missing. Some
Yeah.
designated time for us to really, really reflect on the classroom to see what's working, what's
Mm-hmm.
not, and even
Yeah.
just plan for the next couple of weeks. Sometimes that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
And I try to take it day by day, and I think it does work,
Mm-hmm.
but it just, again, the mental load,
Mm-hmm.
because you're feeling like, oh, I need to prep for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up. But if we had more time since the beginning, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it would help a lot.
Yeah. Do you think that because sometimes we have good professional development sessions, I feel like some sessions were very useful, but do you feel like uh, planning time within the professional development session should be always there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something I had already like discussed before with other educators. We all kind of
Mm-hmm.
agree that it is really helpful to have it during our professional development time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it's like a conscious like decision right there and then you're like, okay, this is meant for you to plan versus, like I said, sometimes you feel like you have a million other things to do before that,
Mm-hmm.
like the door competition.
Yeah.
Yes, I go all out on those, but then sometimes it's like, okay, I have to choose when to do it. If they do give us planning time,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the door competition's like next week and
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even started. Well, I'm like, okay, I need to work on this
Mm-hmm.
during my actual planning time, or I have to collaborate with another teacher. So it doesn't really let me plan for what's going on in my classroom quite yet, but
Mm-hmm.
just planning in like our levels. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a different kind of planning sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Oh my gosh. Now that you mentioned all the different things you do with the students, I just had flashbacks of the activities you do in the classroom, and I also the results. Like I don't really like I-ready testing and I-ready diagnostics, but I can see that your results were outstanding. So, what is what is a priority for you? Oh no, let me formulate my question better. How do you encourage students to try their best and encourage in them high work ethic? Because I know that your students because they used to be my students and I saw how they pushed their effort a little bit further and I saw that they were trying harder and I saw amazing results. So how do you encourage this high work ethic in them? How do you keep them motivated to try their best?
I think that it's a mixture of things, but the two things that I do the most is I I put myself in their shoes a lot and I tell them a lot of times I tell them like, hey, I was in your shoes too. I remember when I was in fifth grade and I struggled with this. And I went ahead and I kept trying and then I mentioned I really try to encourage like that growth mindset within them and let them know I've struggled in the past. And I think they see it that I also was in their position at one point, and it
Mm-hmm.
makes it feel like reachable. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like once I make that personal connection,
Mm-hmm.
and at that point we've already bonded, we have this good rapport. At that point, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like they're like, okay, Miss Cervantes has been through this too. Like we
Mm-hmm.
can do it,
Yeah.
and just honestly setting really high expectations for them,
Yeah.
um, and keeping them motivated with like the fun incentives.
Yeah. So you do a lot, honestly. You're like, oh no, I don't do. I just this little thing. You do a lot. You do a lot of fun incentives. So can you talk about that? Like, what are your incentives to keep them motivated?
I feel like they come out of like sometimes I try so many different things, but I feel like the most consistent ones I've had are like um, I do like my own classroom student store
Mm-hmm.
where they have like a money system going on with the boletos
Mm-hmm.
that the school gives.
Yeah.
So they're motivated to buy things, and I try to like I try to stock the store with things that I've noticed that they enjoy. So I try to get to know them
Mm-hmm.
enough to know what they like. Like one student loved Dragon Ball Z, another student loved soccer, anime, and I like put stickers of that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have like the iReady incentives where we have parties if they complete a certain amount of lessons by the end of like the month.
Yeah. You also do a lot of community building activities. I remember you do the Throwback Thursdays. So
Yeah.
you make the whole experience super fun for them. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I think I started off the school year being really like, okay, we're gonna do music Monday, trivia Tuesday, Wordle Wednesday, Throwback Thursday, and then Fun Friday. And then
Oh,
it does take a lot of time and planning. So
yeah.
slowly I was like, okay, the year before I could do a lot more. This year I was like, okay, I'm gonna stick to one and just really use that one. And it was Throwback Thursday because I noticed that's the one that students like the most. So for Throwback Thursday, I get all parents on board and they send me pictures of their students or of their childs when they were babies or just from the past. Like it could be maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we start off with baby pictures, and every Thursday I'll post them on a slideshow. And students are really excited to guess who it is or just kind of like look at each other, see their friends as babies.
Yeah.
It's super cute. They look forward to it.
Yeah.
And they know it's something that I think they themselves know it's something that I don't have to do, and they see me putting the effort to organize it. Like some of them know. They would send me pictures like at 10 p.m. the day before, and then or at like 7 in the morning the day of,
Yeah.
and they come, Miss, did you go ahead and put my picture in the slideshow? And I'm like, yes, it was super late. So
Yeah.
they know that it takes time and planning, and I think they really appreciate that, and they're motivated by that because they see like I am really trying for them to make it fun.
Yeah.
And I verbalized that with them too since the beginning. I told them, hey, I'm going to try my best to make fifth grade fun for you. I want to have fun. I know you want to have fun, but we have to get our stuff done. Because if we don't, then I'm going to feel like, well, we really need to catch up on this. I don't know if we're going to have time to do this. And if I see that they're trying their best, then I don't have to think that way, I told them.
Yeah.
So it does motivate them, like finding something that they look forward to. And I do think that it also impacts attendance too.
Yes.
They like didn't want to miss school a lot of the time.
Yeah. You really made the experience, like the fifth grade experience, nice, enjoyable. They were looking forward to go. So that totally makes sense. And my last question for you, if you could give any message to, I don't know, the world about what it means to be an educator, it could be a message to families or to other teachers or to students or to anybody, a message that you think this is something that you should know about what it means to be an educator, or this is something that is important to know about education. It's a very open question, so you can take your time. But what message would you give as a teacher with the experience and the things that you have seen so far?
The first thing that came to mind without even thinking about it a lot is that it's rewarding and it's a team effort. I think I want to talk more about the team effort. I feel like it is really like you're working together to try and bring the best results forward for each individual child. And I can be trying everything in the classroom, but I feel like it's not going to be, it's not easy in any way, but it's definitely going to be harder if we don't have like the student on board, if we don't have the parents on board, if we don't have like admin on board with certain things. So I think it really does take an entire village, and we have to all be willing to go ahead and collaborate and kind of assume the best intentions when we're all together and trying to work together to help the students succeed. Yeah, just working together. I think that's the biggest thing.
I 100% agree with you. And also teachers. Like teachers can help each other so much, and I have felt so much inspiration from working with other teachers, and you're one of them. I'm very inspired by your work ethic and how you create this amazing learning experience for your students. So thank you very much for coming to my podcast. I'm very grateful. And I know you will continue thriving and your students will continue thriving. So
Thank you. And it's funny you mentioned that I like the inspiration was also there, like from your point of view towards me, because I felt the same way. I think I told you this already one or
Say
twice.
it again. No, tell me. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
I need to
remember.
tell you again. You have been one of like the most like inspiring figures at school for me on our campus. I feel like I look up to you, and since the beginning, I always felt like, oh yes, Miss Quadra, she's going to know the answer to this. Like I just see you as a very experienced and welcoming teacher too. I think you welcome newer teachers like myself to feel comfortable reaching out and seeking help, and I really really appreciated that. Thank you. You made my time at City Language a lot more easier than I expected it to be coming in as a new teacher.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so. No, it was my pleasure. Like it's so hard not to make it easy for you, honestly. Like you're so sweet. But also, I remember my first experience being a first year teacher was really bad. Even my student teaching back home was not very good. Teachers were not very kind, and I thought I would not like to give this bad time to any new teacher ever again. I would like new teachers to feel like this is a welcoming space and they can ask questions, and we are all friends in here. Like there's space for everybody, and everybody's different, and everybody has something to collaborate. So I'm glad that you felt welcome.
Yeah, that's exactly what you did.
Oh, that's so
Thank
good.
you.
All right. Well, thank you very much.